Hi, Sagittarius. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're doing well. We're going to do a mid-October 2022 money and career read for you. So let's begin and pull a small money and career message to see what we get for you. Okay. I'm not going to take those. What do we have for Sag? Mid-October. Okay, public recognition. So it's a second half of the month where you might have heavy fire in your chart other than Sag as well. But I just feel like it's the second half of the month for you and the other fire signs to be recognized. Okay, I did hear a special thank you right before pressing record or attempting to record this reading a few times. So I do feel as if there's points in the second half of the month where you may have to do something a few times or attempt to accomplish something a couple of times, a few times, but it ends up being purposeful in the meanwhile. I just sense that you'll word something properly the last time you do it, or there's something to learn in the other attempts. Does that make sense? That will benefit you, or the scenario or just the factors that play will be better for your overall result in the last attempt. I do sense that that special thank you message is playing into you being acknowledged. Okay. Now, I do feel like those who are in the public eye, you're being recognized and seeing financial stability and career success all the meanwhile. Okay. If I could even hold this up, I do sense that there is the potential for a little bit of frustration, right? Due to how other people are working in the work environment, due to wanting things to be perfect as far as getting things done on time, or just having the perfectionist within you come into play, or even when it comes to you sort of stumbling on your words or not having the perfect wording, or again, I just feel like timely matters. But the fact that you have the career success card and the financial stability card to tie into the public recognition message, that's a beautiful start. Okay, let's continue and pull some tarot. Let's do some shuffling. I feel like you're going to have a lot coming towards you. And for some of you, you're going to be reminded in the midst of all that you have to accomplish, all that's expected from you, even all the positive acknowledgement and recognition coming towards you. There's change on the horizon, whether that's a change up in your career position towards less, or for some, or towards more, or just something different. But I feel like for some of you, you could be forewarned or just reminded there is a big switch up in the work environment for you. Okay, if you work from home, that's going to be changing for the better. Okay, or for the worse. But for some of you, I do feel like the work environment, the company you work for, the office or something of the sort, that's going to be changing in one way, shape, or form. New additions is now what I'm hearing. Six of Wands. You are being noticed. I do sense that in the midst of all the positives that are taking place, that do need to be seen for what they truly are, you're experiencing background noise, delays, people just adding things onto your plate. So do tread carefully when feeling the need to add more onto your own plate, because do expect others to do that for you, whether it's a boss figure or just even more clientele coming into play. I just feel like your business is thriving if you are an entrepreneur. Some of you might be getting a business idea to jump into the entrepreneurship. Okay, the Six of Pentacles and the Temperance card. I do sense that there is a level of you feeling in your power in certain ways, especially when you're producing and developing. But I sense that there's a focus or a push to focus from spirit on your happily ever after, where you feel you'll be happiest. Whether that goes for your work situation, it goes for your home life. I do feel like for some of you, you need to put your center focus on your family or on just your home life and making sure that's comfortable, or utilizing that to heal and to keep oneself centered, grounded, or bring yourself back to that way of being. I'm speaking a lot, bear with me. I feel like that was key wording, but Temperance being your energy, I just feel like, again, you're feeling in your power to a certain extent, but there's a level of patience and intuitive guidance that needs to be utilized at this time in order to make your way through the second half of the month in the smoothest manner possible. because I do feel as if in the midst of needing that patience, needing that balance, and just feeling very helpful in certain ways, even if it's just simply part of your job, I feel like you see yourself and are being viewed by others as very assisting, okay, very helpful in nature, just very knowledgeable, so therefore you can help others, right? Regardless of who that ends up being for you. But I just sense that through the needing for that balance and patience, it could be hard to acknowledge or fully remember the abundance flowing in at this time, okay? It's up to you to recognize it and let that overpower in one's mind, heart, and soul, overpower certain negatives or obstacles, okay? It's nothing you can't handle, as I'm seeing the King of Swords. But we have the Queen of Swords coming out. There's thoughts of cutting out a work situation or cutting out a living situation or wanting to see certain cuts taking place in the work environment. I feel like that's people. You're feeling very judgmental in the second half, and I don't blame you, as I do feel like you're ready to fly towards a new beginning, okay? Or ready for a situation to transform before your very eyes. It's like for some of you, you're thinking in the sense of, if this person or these people weren't here, if this rule and regulation, set of regulations wasn't in place, or if this certain authority figure wasn't here, right? Or if I had a different spot to work in, things would be much more ideal, right? But I do feel like, okay, you could manifest that switch up in one way, shape, or form to an extent, but I just feel like you're also needing to do your best to make the best until things switch up in one way, shape, or form. Because even if that's not the way things are going to adjust in your situation, right? You're going to need to make sure you're in good spirits, okay? It could potentially alter the quality of your work. What else do we have for Sag? Yeah, the Seven of Wands coming out again. This was the one that was at the bottom of the deck when I first began shuffling. 714, look up that angel number meaning. But I do feel as if there could be a bit of a defensive way about you at certain points, or feeling as if that might boil to the surface. But again, a lot coming towards you. And I just feel like you're going to be reminded, a very Seven of Cups vibe. You have a lot of options when it comes to a switch up, a change, or just a new addition that you wish to acquire. But I do feel like for some of you, there's thoughts of, in the midst of gaining this recognition, this acknowledgement, moving towards a new position within the same company, or upgrading your business or expanding it, or even moving towards a new accomplishment in one way, shape, or form in your current position. And some of you thinking about deserving a raise. They're saying if that's you, then you absolutely do, but I wouldn't count on it in the second half of the month, okay? Just being realistic. But again, with the Hierophant, I really just feel like your intuition is quite high at this time, so don't ignore it, okay? But also don't act upon certain levels of truth that you hold within you if you intuitively as well know that that's not going to help the health of a situation or the future of your career, okay, or financial status. But I also sense that, again, there's this motherly sort of male or female helpful nature about you, but there's thoughts and messages coming in, reminders that there's the birthing of a new situation ahead for you. So you need to breathe as you go through a balancing act, potentially weighing out the options, the pros and cons between two different or multiple different options, okay? You'll know within what just feels right, okay? They're also saying trust the energy. Trust the energy. Get up and take a walk is now what I'm hearing. If you feel as if in the middle of your workday or in the middle of just chilling out, hanging out at home, you need to just get up and take a walk, then do so. Because I really do feel like that's going to benefit you if Mother Nature allows it. Some fresh air, being one with nature, just a chance to clear one's mind and escape potentially the energy that may not feel the healthiest, even if it might normally. But I do sense that this is the second half of the month where through your work, through all that you've been accomplishing and still will be in the second half of the month, there's healing to take place, okay? And this does play into taking a stroll once again. And it feels like the recognition that you're receiving in certain different ways for you individually is giving you a sense of healing all the meanwhile. It's this almost like, oh, finally, or just, I mean, yeah, it's about damn time, okay? Um, but I just feel as if there's, again, a huge reminder written all over your reading, all over your second half of the month, that things are falling into place, and it's like you're ready, okay? You're ready for a ship to come in, however that ends up coming through for you, whatever that represents for you individually, whether it's success, whether it's that new opportunity. It could be multiple things for you, but I just feel like you need to eat up the abundance while it's coming in the second half of the month, okay? And understand that everything's happening in divine order, divine timing, okay? As once again, you're being acknowledged and recognized in the way you're meant to. All right. So I hope this was truly helpful. I am sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy the second half of your month, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Sag.